tomorrow on Fox, noon Eastern. All eyes will be on Deion Sanders. I mean, he's one of the biggest sports legends in the history of all sports, and he's the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. They open their season in a much-anticipated matchup versus TCU. Here's the kicker. Colorado won just one game last season, and they lost their games by an average margin. I'm not making this up. No. An average margin of 29 points.
Yeah.
Shady, we have seen what LeBron did as a football player. We know, one of the greatest football players ever. We've seen what he's done as a head coach. Not Division I, but what he's done as a head coach. But now 2-5. He in the Pac-12.
And
taking on a Big 12 team. What must you see? I need this from Deion Sanders this season.
Well, first of all, you need to forget about the past. That's old. 29 points, you said?
Yes, sir.
That's
Margin
old.
of defeat.
It's prime time. Listen, in prime, we trust. And I tell you this, we will see Colorado look like a different team this year and next year. And I will say this, it's the first year, so I'm going to give him some grace period. But believe this, though, them players is going to come. You know why? Because Prime he's not hard to find. That's his slogan. I love it. I want to see a big game. We can't talk about the season. I'm talking about this game right here.
TCU.
Tomorrow night is TCU.
Tomorrow
We're
morning,
going to set the stage right. Prime time with a big upset on the road, right?
Shady, the margin currently by Vegas, TCU is a 20.5 point favorite. For those that I need to remind, TCU was in the national championship last year in LA. I was there. Versus Georgia. They did lose their starting quarterback and a first-round pick of wide receiver, but they were in the national championship. You're talking about upsets?
You know why, though? Let me tell you why. The same thing with Jackson State. They didn't think Prime time would come there and do what he did.
It's different.
He did there, he came there, he delivered, and he left. It's going to be the same thing. He's going to repeat the same thing, duplicate what he did at Jackson State, at Colorado, and I can't wait to see it.
Shady, you know, I pray and I hope you're right, because I want to see Deion Sanders succeed. I do. I want to see him change this program around. But we're talking about 11 losses by 29 or more points. That is crazy. So for me, if we are being real about this situation, I just want to see Coach Prime and Colorado compete. You got what I'm saying? And what I mean by compete is you can't have them blowouts. I understand you might lose some games, but these games better be close. We need to see you guys improving as a football team. You can't expect him to go out here, Acho, and beat TCU. You can't expect him to go out here and win 10 games. This is a revamped roster. We don't know what we're getting from Colorado, right? And yes, we've seen Prime turn around Jackson State. This is different. This is Division I football. This is where 95% of all the draft picks come from, Shady. This is going to be tough. I just want to see, hey, I know Prime time changing around. He ain't hard to find, but I just want to see him compete. That's a bonus for me.
Joy, what do you need to see? James, I will address that.
Well, the first thing you expect to see is a culture change, right? They had no culture last year, won one game, lost by basically 30 points every single game. You know what Prime brings from a recruiting standpoint, and as we know, college football, the lifeblood of the sport is recruiting. If you have more talent, generally, you win more games. That's how it goes. This is not the NFL where everyone is talented and everyone is basically on the same level with the exceptions of one or two players on the field. This is different. You really have to have the roster. He has 3 returning starters and 9 returning scholarship players from last year. He brought in a whole new team. He's got a lot of new blood in there, and we know that he's going to come with energy. I'm with you in that they need to compete. This is going to be a tall task tomorrow. They were in the national championship last year. This is a great team, but in Prime we trust.
Prime we trust, baby.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an upset tomorrow, and I won't be surprised if I see a massive change, not just culturally, but also with wins. Like, keep in mind at Jackson State, which is obviously a completely different program, when he came in, they were 4-8 the year before. Then it's 2020, they're 4-3, but it's 2020. We know what happened then. 11-2, 12-1 the next 2 seasons.
Come on now.
So I do think we need to be a little patient in understanding that it does take time to build up a program and get the players that you want in there and develop those players, because these are young players. This isn't, again, the pros where you can just bring in new talent that's already established. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Hold on real quick. If Prime loses this game, Shady, and the Colorado loses by 21, you still trusting in Prime?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking, because that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm just making sure we're going to trust
I've never heard somebody hate on Prime like this.
No, I'm not hating on him.
I'm going to say this, man. I've never seen Prime look bad. Have y'all? I've never seen it.
Prime ain't playing.
I've never seen it. And as a coach, he's done good as a coach.
Here's my issue with James. Here's my issue with saying compete. The only time I've heard coaches say, I want y'all to go compete, is when you're sorry.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Like, so I can't, for me, set the
when
bar
it's a
at
tie.
prime at competing. For me, what I need to see is go make a bowl game. Make a bowl game. Win six games this year. That's out the gate. Win 6 games this year. And then let me see a couple upsets. You will be the underdog in just about every single game.
Yeah.
Maybe go upset Oregon. Maybe go upset SC. I think it's September 30th.
Yeah.
Maybe pull off an upset here or there. I'm afraid to set the bar as low as something proverbial like compete, because that's what you say when it's like, hey, slugger, go get him, sport. Just want to go see you compete.
That's what you say when it's a rebuild. And that is what Prime is doing right now. He had to gut this whole thing out and rebuild this program.
But the difference, though, in my mind, is in college, unlike the NFL, and we all know this watching and covering both sports, is NFL, you can only really turn something over through a couple free agency acquisitions.
Yeah.
But based upon college in this day and age, you saw Lincoln Riley do it by taking SC from mediocre to elite, is you can bring in some dudes. I mean, Prime brought his own son. Cannot wait to see Shador Sanders. Got to see what he's talking about.
And he like that, too.
He brought in Travis Hunter, two-way player, wide receiver.
He like that, too.
We gonna see.
I want to see Prime do more than just compete. Regular coach, go out there and compete. You hire LeSean McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, hey, Colorado gonna compete. You hire Prime time?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not gonna compete?
Shady,
I ain't on that compete talk. I'm not on that. Listen, as long as I've known Primetime personally and watched him as a fan, he's always done good. He's always met that challenge. He loves that. So when people like you or people out there that say that, they're going to lose this game against TCU and they're not going to win 6 games, that's cool. It drives him. That's who he is.
I understand that. That should happen.
So when he said the portals are open.
Yes.
And what did a lot of them players do? They came there. And they got out and they came to him.
Yeah.
So I look to see Primetime do what he's done his whole career as a coach and as a player, as dominant and win.
For me, I'm with you, like I say.
You can't be with me.
No, I want to see.
You said he's not moving tonight.
I said, first off, I want to see him change this thing around. But for us to think he's going to do it in year 1 is crazy.
Yeah, well.
And that is what everybody thinks Prime is going to do. Well, Shady thinks Prime's going to do, which is crazy. That is why Vegas has these boys losing by 21. It ain't no surprise. They know Prime over there.
TCU, like
exactly.
In the national championship game. That's why the spread is what it is.
No question. And they're looking at 29-point losses.
I don't think it's unrealistic to expect them to win 6 games.
No, not at all. I mean, Joy, you know this, and I want to cut to you for a second here because obviously you watch LSU very closely. I believe your nephew starting tight end as a true freshman last year, Mason, and returning as a starting tight end this year. Brian Kelly goes to LSU, and we're not thinking they're going to do nothing. I mean, not what they did last year. New head coach Brian Kelly. You're now SEC got Nick Saban. It got Georgia, Kirby Smart. Brian Kelly went in there and said, yeah, that's cute. I got somewhere to be. Go from a 6-win team to a 10-win team. Got true freshmen starting at tight end, 2 freshmen starting at offensive line, a couple of them. Got a quarterback who doesn't have that much experience. I've seen great head coaches go to programs and win 4, 5, 6 excess games from the year before. Again, look what Lincoln Riley did at USC. So it is doable. Do you think Prime can make that 1-win to 6-win jump in what is a relatively tough or competitive path?
Yes, because he gutted the team. He made it very clear that this is a new era, and he brought in new players. That is the point. That is the difference between an NFL rebuild and a college rebuild, as you said. The transfer portal can change everything around overnight, and if you are a good coach, you can elevate those players. I'm not talking about them competing for a national championship this year. That's not even a conversation.
That's what Shady's saying.
No, I mean they can make a bowl game. They can compete. They're not going to compete for a national. That's not the structure of the sport. That's not how this is going to work. I mean, that's just not. But that doesn't matter. That's not what he's there to do in year 1. What he's there to do is establish a culture, show what he can do at this level, and bring this program back from 1 win to competing and being in bowl games, which is entirely possible with him.
So do we all agree up here that 6 wins will be a successful season for Deion? 6, 7 wins?
In my mind.
Thank you. And that's competing.
Talk to me.
Nah. I mean, 6 wins would be great from where they came from last year. I agree with that.
Yes, sir.
But also, I think when we're rebuilding teams, right? Because it's kind of a so-called rebuilding. I need to see some flashes. I need to see some different in the culture. And it's like one thing is Prime has to get his players. Now, he got a lot of players from the portal. I get that. But any from the NFL, even to college. They want to get their players in there that they're scouting that fits their scheme.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this guy, he doesn't fit my scheme. We can't have him. We go recruit a dude that's in my scheme. So I do think it'll be a difference, though. We haven't seen Colorado look this good until Prime got there. That's what I will say.
I would say we haven't seen them look this energized. Yeah. I don't really know how they look yet. And y'all know I'm going to be on TV tomorrow, 12 hours.
They got a quarterback. They got a quarterback.
They do.
And that quarterback got prime time's blood in him.
He does.
And you know what that means.
He does.
Okay.
But here's what's so fascinating, and these are the storylines. These are the storylines I want y'all to watch. In the pack, you got Caleb Williams, who should be the #1 overall pick next year.
Right.
Yes. You got Bo Nix, transfer from Auburn, who could have declared for the NFL draft, and many thought he might be a second-round pick.
He's all right.
You got Michael Penix out in Washington. You got Cam Rising coming back from an knee injury at Utah. Utah beat Florida yesterday without the starting quarterback. You got Shedeur Sanders. I'm fascinated to see where will Shedeur fall in line. Because his last name is Sanders. As much pressure as we put on Prime, I'm trying to see what the starting quarterback at Colorado is talking about, but I can't wait to see what that
ain't no better way to start than TCU.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
TCU. You can't go to Texas, can't go to Oklahoma, go to TCU.
It was in the Natty.
That's what that's about.
It wasn't a natty, though.
They got to the Natty with all them
You can't make it at Texas. You can't make it at Oklahoma. Go to TCU.
That's all five.
That's the truth.
But Texas or Oklahoma was not in the national championship.
That's
last
the truth.
year.
There will be no
That's the truth.
Texas.
That's the truth.
I mean, they weren't there.
They were not there. TCU was.
See, talking on this bull crap, and you lights on crazy.
That's you.
Crazy. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.